Welcome back to Modern Homestead Alaska and our Azure Haul for the month of September 2022. I am so excited to share this one with you guys because we are going to be experimenting with different grains and different bread in this month and the month to come. Join me today. Welcome to our vlog. If you're new around here, we're the Milnes family. We just moved to Alaska in July. We're building a modern homestead outside of Wasilla, Alaska. That's my awesome husband, Aaron. I am Jessica, a stay-at-home wife and mom, and our second son, Caleb, decided to come with us, along with our daughter, Cody Ann, and the youngest of our family, Wyatt. We brought our two dogs, Tipper and Daisy, and got a new addition, the Alaska dog, Roberto. I'm gonna step over here and get you in on it and show you exactly what we have going on. Let's start on the simple side. I have a few odds and ends. As always, with Azure, you get the sales flyer. This is for October, that's for next month. I don't know if you know, because I don't typically buy, but Azure does have vitamins and household items and pet care, you name it. So this is kind of a probiotic and then a roll-on for a candida killer, like on the skin. So we're just gonna try some random different things. Those were on sale. And then I got another 5 gallon of apple cider vinegar. I'm trying to do the math with the little bit of gardening that we did and processing. I've already used almost a whole 5 gallons of apple cider vinegar this year. So if I had a huge, massive garden, I am now trying to do the math to see how much apple cider vinegar, distilled white vinegar, the different vinegars that I need to have on hand if we're gonna be processing our own food. And that is a big shocker of how much of that we really are gonna need. Keep that in mind if you are gardening, canning, pickling for the first time. You are going to need a whole lot more supplies than you are expecting. Let me show you the next section. Okay, this goes along with the grains. It was accidental, intentional. This is an einkorn wheat seeds that you can grow, planting outdoors. It has instructions. Azure has been out of einkorn the last couple of times that I have tried ordering it. My mom sent me some through Amazon. They have 25-pound bags. If I could get the Azure einkorn, it would save us about $25, so $1 a pound if I could do it that way versus getting some einkorn through Amazon, but we'll just wait and see. So that's seeds you can try and grow, just 5 pounds of it. And then this was on sale. I'm not gonna lie, I've never made a risotto. So this is white arborio rice. I harp and preach on here about diversity. So rice and beans are the two things, rice, beans, lentils, lignin, so on. Those are my most diverse categories. And then we're trying to move into grains being equally as diverse. But arborio rice is a rice that I don't have in my storehouse. I'm not sure, but I am so excited. I have been looking up recipes and I'm gonna figure out a risotto that we like. I'm gonna learn, and then I'm gonna have something else in my arsenal that I can feed my family if times are tough, if we're struggling, or we're just looking for a delicious meal come this fall time, this winter. I'm looking forward to experimenting with that. So make sure you stick around to the channel. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button. And when I figure out a risotto we're sharing, you better bet I'm gonna share it on here. I promised this next section that I would make a video a while ago. I have collected all of my ingredients. I'm finally ready. And those of you who have been asking, I want you to know that my son Wyatt is just as excited as you are. You'll get a video, he'll actually get to eat it. We are going to make our own homemade instant oatmeal packets. The kinds that he has requested is peaches and cream and an apple cinnamon. Aaron wants a cranberry nut one. We have the stuff for blueberries and cream and so on. So what I got was some black chia seeds. This is gonna go in the baked oatmeal, not the baked oatmeal, the overnight oats for Cody, and flax seeds. These are going to help with the different oatmeals that are coming up in the video. These are dried peaches. I know everyone thought they were apples in my house, but if you look right there, you can see those are peaches. Like I said, the golden flaxseed. And then here, and we'll get this moved over into probably a 2-gallon food storage grade bucket. Bear with me. This is all dried apples, organic dried apples that were grown here in the US. So we have a huge amount of those, and we are going to use this stuff plus the oats that I have a ton of in our long-term storage, along with the milk powder that we got from Azure. We're going to combine all those ingredients and make instant homemade oatmeal packets that are easy grab and go breakfast for your family. So make sure, again, stay tuned. That's an upcoming video. So I got this book on grains, my P.O. box, and I've read through it, and it talks about millet, oats, spelt, farro, sorghum, and teff. So I've bought either all or some of those grains, and what we've realized is as we've started grinding our own grains, I'm struggling a little bit. I'm learning. I'm good at baking. That sounds arrogant, but it's true. I'm really good at making bread and doing different baking techniques. So you would think that it was just, voila, you got these grains and you grind them and easy peasy, throw together some bread. It doesn't work like that. They absorb different. The texture of them is different. The flavor of them is different. The amount of gluten that's in them is different. Everything about each grain is so individual that I am now learning. So here's what I want to introduce you to. An upcoming video I'm going to start working on this week is I'm going to grind each one of the grains that are made for flour, not for like cereals and other things. Each one that is for flour, I'm going to make a mini loaf out of each one of them, and we are going to taste test. I'm going to become familiar with the amount of gluten and the texture and how much water content and so on with all of the different grains. And I invite you to stick around, learn through me. It could be a waste, but then again, I am confident that if I at least make something super simple like a loaf of bread out of each one of these grains, I'm then going to be able to figure out what is the best combination of these grains and what are other uses. So in this book of ancient grains, it gives tons of uses like cereal, how you turn them into porridge, and so on. So here are some of the grains that we got. So the brown teff grain, this is like spilling out, and let me just show you. Like, I don't know if the camera can even pick that up. That is how minuscule that grain is. This is not something we're turning into bread. This will be something more towards cereal. The next grain is an organic whole oat grout. So this is the whole oat. This is 50 pounds. When I was first introduced to grains, got my grinder, the whole nine yards, she turns this into breakfast cereal, so I'm interested in that. Whole barley, we got 25 pounds of that one. This one we think can become bread. This one is millet. So that is a whole 50-pound bag of millet. Let me move you over. All right, let me talk to you a little bit about these grains. So this one is a buckwheat grout, 25 pounds of that. The spelt we've already tried We know it has a super nutty flavor. I think I'm gonna like it. I went ahead and did 2 25-pound bags of that. Then back over here we go. Back over here we have a 25-pound bag of amaranth. We have a 25-pound bag of rye grains. So this is gonna make a lovely rye bread, I'm hoping. This is sorghum. So this is 25 pounds of sorghum. And then we have bought, we're jumping to a different topic. We have bought this durum wheat before. Durum wheat is what becomes semolina flour. Semolina flour is what makes the world's best pasta. Our chickens are producing, and come spring for sure, there will be enough of them producing that we will be able to make a ton of homemade egg noodles. We have not had enough homemade eggs and being able to grind our own flour in order to do that, but I have very, very high hopes for that. So we got another 25-pound bag of the durum wheat, which turns into semolina flour. And then the last thing that I got was, this was on sale. This was one of their sale items, and this is 25 pounds of polenta. And polenta is corn, and then you can use it to make polenta with. So I am super excited to start trying out these different grains, figuring out some good bread recipes, and I have a huge favor to ask you guys. If you have been grinding your own grains, your grandmother did it, your aunt did it, the lady next door, I don't care who it was, and you have any advice of combination of grains or the best grains to be using and what to use those grains for, would you please leave that in the comment section below. Tell me about it. I'm really good at reading comments, responding back, having conversations with you guys. So please, please, please give me what advice you have on these different wheats. I'm gonna tell you what we spent, what the weight was, and what shipping to Alaska cost. Okay, I had someone really ask, do I pay shipping on Azure? Isn't that the company that you don't have to pay shipping on and there's drop zones and all of that? Yes, that is how Azure works. You order from Azure, you have a date and a time-ish, like mornings, afternoons, that is your pickup time, and you have a host site where someone coordinates all of it, whether it's at their home or a church, school, it doesn't matter. You pick it up at these random locations. Here in Alaska, everything is shipped here on a barge. We do pay shipping on our Azure. When I was in Arizona, I did not pay shipping. My mom is in Nevada, does not pay shipping. My sister is Colorado, no shipping, so on. But we do pay shipping. Nonetheless, there are certain things that we can get through Azure that we can't get up here otherwise. So it is worth it in the end a lot of the time. The other thing is Azure is amazing. So if I'm how you've heard of Azure and you said, hey, I wanna go on and give it a try, and you use my code that is in the link, I get $25 if you spend X amount, whatever it is. The cool thing is they don't have affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything to order from Azure to be a part of it. There's no fees associated with any of it, and it's good, organic, local most of the time, grown here, US, Canada, those sort of things. And it is amazing quality food products. Now, remember their warehouse burned down. That was big news. I still am not able to get honey from them. I've ordered it twice, the last 2 times, and I still haven't gotten my honey. So if you're interested in giving Azure a try, use my code. It's in the description box. Most places don't pay shipping for Azure, but you do need to know ahead of time if you're in Alaska we do pay shipping. And then if you go online to Azure, and I'll leave the link in the description box, you can figure out where the nearest drop to you is. Okay, so as far as my totals go, $740.50 just for this. Believe it or not, I normally spend double, but I also, that might make sense, get things that are a little bit cheaper, like beans and rice are cheaper than grains. But I'm committed to learning this, and so we have to have the grains to learn it, and it's really difficult to get a lot of these grains. Up here, my total weight was 439 pounds. So that's 439 pounds of food. As an idea of how long something like this lasts, the average person eats in a year, or you should stock for them if you were doing a year stock, is 350 pounds per person. That's grains, pasta, rice, beans. So 439 pounds, give or take a little, because it includes things like the vinegar. This is enough food for one person, if that makes sense. And then my shipping up here, $187.80 for 439 pounds, or $740 worth of food. So my grand total to get all of this food, all of this grain up here in Alaska, was $928.30. So that's what we spent this month. This should last us quite a long time, and I will keep you posted on everything that we use this for. Thank you, those of you who have joined me, who've stuck around all the way to the end. I hope I've answered some questions. I hope I've explained things in my thought process a little bit better than some other times, and I appreciate you being here. I look forward to hearing from you. You can do that by just leave me a comment, say hello. I'm good at saying hello back. If you're new around here, introduce yourself in any way, shape, or form. I don't care, just send me a wave if that's what you feel comfortable doing, but I would love to wave back, if you will. You can keep in touch with everything we're doing on our homestead. We're learning, again, by hitting that subscribe button. When you ring the bell, you get notifications, and then you don't miss anything. You'll know every single time that we post a video, because YouTube will notify you. So that is a great way of doing things. I do hope that you are super blessed, that you are trying and experimenting. My dog. You are experimenting with new things. You are willing to give it a try. My last bit of great advice is, someone asked me how I learned to do these things. It's because no one told me I couldn't. So I am telling you right now, I don't care what anyone has ever said, give it a try. Get in the kitchen, try new things. No one is telling you you can't do it, or at least I'm telling you, you can give it a try. We may have some failures along the way, which I'm sure with all these new grains, not everything is gonna go perfectly and hunky-dory. It doesn't matter, get in there, give it a try. No one's telling us we can't. So with that, be blessed, have a super duper week, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you for being here.